Hear ye, hear ye. Oh, I said hear ye, hear ye. Hey, sweaties. I look strange. Yes, what's new? Wow, you get to see my kitchen now. It's probably very dirty. I'm here to do another breakdown video. I guess that's what we can call these, breakdown videos. I think I'm gonna start doing these breakdown videos on my couch because all my last American Horror Story videos, I spent on my feet for about 3 to 4 hours just standing in one spot, and my knees, if you could hear my knees just when I got up to turn the camera on, this couch, love her to death, but I sink into it, worn some holes into the couch. My posture's bad. Shut your damn mouth. I've cleaned up the board. We're doing an album this time, not a TV show. We're gonna talk about the life and death of one Ethel Cain, the album Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain. I almost just dumped a whole thing of thumbtacks on my cat, and I dumped them on the floor. Okay, well, you can't win them all. Well, while I sit here picking up thumbtacks, let me tell you, literally am not talking. I found this dress on Amazon. I just looked up colonial style dress. I took some pictures and I've been trying to go out and take some video of my local town just so I can put some clips and stuff in this video, make it look very aesthetic. To my cousin Maddie, who went around with me and drove and helped me film stuff, thanks so much. Oh my god, I already bent it. Maybe next up should be a proper easel for this. Whatever, you get it. Okay, shall we go ahead and get started? Since it came out, I believe it came out in February of this year, 2024. I think it's safe to say it might be my favorite album of all time. I really didn't want to give that spot up. After Laughter by Paramore, I have a couple of tattoos from that album. That has been my tried and true, but I will say, this one, I can't get it out of my head. Monthly listen to this, where like 1 week out of every month, that's all I listen to, front to back. I have a lot more visuals too, just because I couldn't decide what pictures to have up. This is our mother, Ethel Cain, and this story takes place in 1991. I'm treating this like my American Horror Story. She obviously is the preacher's daughter. I think I need to make it clear. Ethel Cain is a character. This is Hayden Anadonia, I think is how you pronounce it, persona of Ethel Cain, and tells her story. Now, there has been several EPs that have come out before Preacher's Daughter. Preacher's Daughter is the main work so far. Gotten Word is going to be making a book. There's going to be 2 more albums that go along with this. It's a trilogy. I'll talk more about it later on. Might be a movie. Like, she is ready to put in that fucking work. Can you stay up, please? I guess before we get even started, this album needs some big red flag trigger warnings. Essay, religious trauma, blood, killing. Yes, there's killing. I don't know if you caught it when I said life and death of Ethel Cain. Spoiler alert, she does die. I don't know, just basically, like I said with my American Horror Story video, if you're triggered by anything, you might want to skip this one. It is a very hard listen. Like, not in the sense that it's not good, but it's very troubling, very sensitive to certain topics like that. It's not going to be your album. I can totally understand you don't have to listen to it. I'm so excited. Oh my god. I've been hooked. One of my friends, Daisha, she texted me one day and she said, "Have you heard the song by Ethel Cain?" And I said, "Yes, I have." She was like, "Oh my god, I love it so much." And I said, "You have no idea. You don't even know." This is also going to be for most of my friends not listen to this album. I just made Maddie listen. Well, I didn't make her. She wanted to. We were driving around getting footage for this video. And I think I traumatized her quite a bit. So let's go ahead and get started. I wrote everything, all my notes, in a black book because I thought that seemed very fitting. Oh, look how neat and tidy. I wrote out every song and my thoughts and my notes afterwards. I broke down every lyric. I don't know how I'm going about this. Should I treat it like you've already heard it? Like you've heard it once and you're like, what did I just listen to? Because obviously I can't play the song here. I'd get in trouble. It's a 13-track album. Buckle up. Our first song, Family Tree Intro. Okay, let's go. I also printed out little visuals for each song. When I picked for Family Tree Intro, first 3 opening songs are painting the picture, what's going on in Ethel's life and how she was brought up in the place she lives in. Ethel Cain is from Shady Grove, Alabama. At this point is 20 years old, and her father, which I have fan casted everybody. Have y'all ever heard of that? Basically, you just go and you pick like a celebrity and put a face to it. So for the preacher, don't ask. Woody Harrelson. Father's name is Joseph. Anyways, and at this point in 1991, father has been dead for 10 years, and I will talk more about what may have happened to him to make him die. We'll get there when we get there. Just hang on a second. This song starts the 13-track epic that is Preacher's Daughter. The story takes place 10 years after the death of Ethel's father, Joseph. He was a respected member of the town. So in the very opening, we hear sort of kind of like a warped sermon that's being told. It's very hard to kind of make out what's happening. Basically, by the end of it, you hear, "A mother is the greatest gift from God," or something like that. And actually, side note, this was a recording from Hayden from her great-grandmother's funeral. The first lyric is, "These crosses all over my body remind me of who I used to be, and Christ forgive these bones I'm hiding from no one successfully." Spit. Okay, pin. This is talking about her religious environment that she was raised in. She doesn't necessarily believe in the faith as much as she used to, at least when she was growing up. It was just drilled into her. Maybe that was a poor choice of words. I'm so sorry. She says, Christ forgive these bones I've been hiding. There could be a couple meanings to this. It could be like a broad statement of like hiding some skeletons in her closet, and some of them are out in the open too. She can't hide them successfully. We're gonna get into it. She's got some sins. And then also, Hayden and Ethel are both trans, male to female. So it could mean hiding these bones, the body she was born into, from no one successfully. So amongst like the community in her church, you know, maybe binding things. The next verse, I guess it's a verse. I don't know musical terms. Jesus can always reject his father, but he cannot escape his mother's blood. He'll scream and try to wash it off of his fingers, but he'll never escape what he's made up of. So, okay, I gotta read straight from my notes with this one. Oh, I should also give a big ass shout out. Genius lyrics, they helped me quite a bit. And also Reddit. I think I've read almost every Reddit thread about this album. Mary being a virgin gave Jesus her blood, but not Joseph. Not this Joseph, I mean Joseph like Jesus' dad. Jesus cannot escape things passed down through her, similar to intergenerational trauma. Could also mean the opposite for Ethel. Can't escape her father and his past and his name, and she will only be known as the preacher's daughter. Okay, this verse, oh, I think this is what sold me on it. This verse right here. Oh, I'm locked in. The fates already fucked me sideways, swinging by my neck from the family tree. He'll laugh and say, you know I raised you better than this, then leave me hanging so they all can laugh at me. Ah! She's been fucked over just from the get-go, from the family she's born into, environment that was created by her father being in the church, ultimately what leads to her death. Some of the decisions that she makes along the way, pretty much influenced by her upbringing, how her father raised her and how her mother raised her. Now, who I casted as her mother, I was gonna put Sandra Bullock up here, but then I started thinking, I need Miss Vera Farmiga, but specifically, Bates Motel. When I picture Ethel's mom, who's also actually named Vera, just assume that she's someone that's very put together. I see them being like put together, painted very well, all-American family, Christian values, and squeaky clean on the outside, and on the inside and behind closed doors. F***ing train wreck. The only one that I did not cast is her grandmother, just because she doesn't talk about her grandmother directly in this album. Preacher's daughter is what we got now. We're gonna have the wife of the preacher's wife, I think is what she's gonna call it. And then we're also gonna have mother of the preacher, which is gonna be about her grandmother. And I can't fucking wait. Although we might be waiting quite a while, because Hayden said not that long ago in like a live stream, it might be about 5 or 6 years. I will be here for it whenever it decides to get here. What was I talking about? I put also, this verse is a glimpse of what happens at the end of the story. After the death, her father would say it was all her fault and anything bad that happened to her was from choices she made. The members of the church see her father as being as close to God as you can get, so his parenting could not have caused Ethel to die. It couldn't have been him. Couldn't be me. We're going to get into, I would think this is her most popular song. It's definitely the most shareable song. You could send this to people and be like, hey, this is your introduction to Ethel Cain, American teenager. This is also what Barack Obama put on his must listen to list, or whatever the hell he does every year. So Barack Obama himself, he is a daughter of Cain, certified. The most poppy sounding song. This is also the visual I put with it. It was my first Ethel Cain song I ever heard, and I was hooked. We can start getting into some fan theories. I can't wait. Okay. Grew up under yellow light on the street, putting too much faith in the make-believe. Oh my gosh, I'm trying not to sing it. Another high school football team. The neighbor's brother came home in a box, but he wanted to go, so maybe it was his fault. Another red heart taken by the American dream. That's the first verse you got. Grew up under yellow light, street lights, growing up, and you better be home when the street lights come on. Putting too much faith in the make-believe in another high school football team. I wrote, Southern Baptists follow to religion with most instances in life, and some can rely too much on it. She admits to having too much trust in her faith, and it ironically would be the root of most of her trauma. Football is treated like church down south. Ethel regrets having so much love for both. Feels like an outcast. I can get into a theory right here. The neighbor's brother came home in a box. He wanted to go, so maybe it was his fault. Okay. Let me break this down for you. She has an EP called Inbred. Highly recommend. There's a song on Inbred called Crush. She's talking about a man, a crush that she has that she met in high school. But there's a line in there, and hang on, I gotta think.
His older brother bagged the valedictorian. Mother steady screaming, he should be more like him.
Okay, so Ethel's falling in love with the bad boy. His brother bagged the valedictorian. Does she mean he got valedictorian? Or he bagged a girl? Or bagged a guy? I don't know, maybe he's into guys. You know, cuffed up. And the mom was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You got with that. You know what I mean? When I hear this song and she says, came home in a box, I think it's either the brother or it could be the person that she fell in love with. Talk about that in just a second. Just bear with me. I just need you to know where my mind is at right now. Either way, someone joined the army or joined the military, left, died, and came back. This could be, maybe he wanted to get out of Shady Grove. Maybe he's having his own issues, or joined the military just to get out and go somewhere, but then died. Okay. I feel it there in the middle of the night while the lights go out and I'm all alone again. So Hayden, what inspired this, she said that she stayed after a high school football team long enough for them to turn the lights out, and she just sat there in the bleachers, thought about just heightened awareness how ephemeral American culture, like football games, really is. This is the chorus now. Sing it with me. Say what you want, but say it like you mean it with your fist for one. A long cold war with your kids at the front. Just give it one more day, then you're done. Done. I do what I want, crying in the bleachers, and I said it was fun. I don't need anything from anyone. She doesn't need anything, but still seeks validation from her community. Her lying about having fun while crying shows contradicting mindset. She wishes to have the same views as those around her, does things that she thinks are the right thing to do rather than what everybody else around her would think. Ethel feels like the biggest outcast you have ever met. It's just not my year, but I'm all good out here. So this could be referring to right after her father died, she's having to lead the church. This is one of my favorite verses in the whole album. Sunday morning, hands over my knees in a room full of faces. I'm sorry if I seem off, but I was probably wasted and didn't feel so good. A life full of whiskey, but I always deliver. Jesus, if you're listening, help me handle my liquor. And Jesus, if you're there, why do I feel so alone in this room with you? Go off, Ethel. She's been leading the services after her father died. I would imagine at 18, maybe she started leading the congregation, but also has turned to some vices. She has turned to the bottle. When she goes to church and she leads the service, I'm sorry if I seem off, but I was probably wasted. I always deliver that sermon though. And Jesus, if you're there, why do I feel so alone in this room with you? This, despite how involved with the church she is, in times of hardship, she finds little faith in religion. Maybe because of her dad or seeing how others use and abuse religion. Very last bit of this, she says, I don't need anything from anyone, which is a contradiction because in the last song, she was asking for forgiveness from Jesus Christ, Jesus Christo. I wrote a little excerpt about this song, like what this one means. This was a quote from her. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit. Growing up by visions of NASCAR, rock and roll, and being the one who would change everything, make you think it's all achievable, and if nothing else, you should die trying. Said she wrote this song about the frustration of all the things that the American teenager is supposed to be, but never had any real chance of becoming. Okay, buckle up. We're really getting into it. This is one of the saddest songs, I think. A House in Nebraska. The events from this song are taking place just before the album starts. This is the actual house that Hayden was picturing. It's a house called Wasden House. It's in Georgia or something. And there's a story about like a guy killed his sister and brother-in-law because they were going to send him to an asylum. I don't know how she found it, but she found it. Her heart has been broken by a boy, Willoughby Tucker. And who did I cast as Willoughby Tucker? I'm so glad you asked. Austin Butler. I love Austin Butler, but specifically the bike rider's version of Austin Butler. Why did I print off 3 pictures of him? Willoughby is who I think Crush is written about. I haven't fact checked myself, but they met in high school. He looks like he works with his hands and smells like Marlboro Reds, keeping guns in his locker, and he denies it. This song is about Ethel Cain's past love, Willoughby Tucker. He leaves before the album starts, still prays that he will come back to her and they will go live in the house they imagined for themselves, somewhere far from where they grew up. The house they envisioned was an abandoned house in Alabama, but in their minds, it was a beautiful escape. Here's my theory. I wonder if Willoughby died. She's broken because he left her all alone and can't come back. Let me tell you why I think that. So here's a fan theory we've got going on. People think that Ethel killed her father because of things that are happening in the household. She gets frustrated and starts a fire. Her dad dies in a fire, though. That is confirmed. People think that Ethel lit the fire. She has other lines and other songs that may allude to that a little bit. Or some people think that Willoughby left because he found out that she started the fire that killed her dad. Maybe other things. I don't know. Maybe he wants to work on himself. I would imagine somebody that gets involved with Ethel, no offense, girlfriend. I think she was maybe attracted to the darkness and the madness of him, and maybe he wanted to leave to figure himself out or whatever. But another theory I also have. Okay, so back in American Teenager, do you remember I was talking about the neighbor's brother came home in a box? What if the brother was Willoughby? So what if Willoughby ended up leaving Ethel, go join the military, he dies, and he's the one that gets brought home in a box? What about that? That's what I'm thinking. When I listen to this album, I think Willoughby is dead. The first verse is labored breaths and bed sores. Yeah. Sing it to me all day long when the aching sound of silence used to be our favorite song. So the labored breaths and bed sores thing could be her sick, laying in a bed like she hasn't moved. She's getting bed sores everywhere. Some people think the labored breaths thing is, sex. It could be, I don't know. I picture it just like she's sick. She can't get a full breath in, and I may have kind of glazed over it, but house in Nebraska doesn't exist. Ethel and Willoughby would go to this abandoned house in Shady Grove, and they would just spend their times in there, and they would picture an idyllic house. We should go get a house in Nebraska, because it's like in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's just a magical place that they could just have as their own. When the aching sound of silence used to be our favorite song. It could mean that Ethel and Willoughby didn't need to talk at all. They were comfortable in each other's silence. Or it could be a reference to the Simon and Garfunkel song, Sound of Silence. That's such a good song. The song basically is like, people don't know how to communicate. They don't know what to say to each other. You and me against the world. You were my man and I your girl. We had nothing except each other. You were my whole world. Then the day came and you were up and gone. She says you were my man and I your girl. Could be some form of ownership. Ethel doesn't put a lot of confidence in herself. She relies mostly on men in her life. They're gonna tell her what to do and when to do it, how to do it. Okay, here we go. But I still call home that house in Nebraska where we found each other on a dirty mattress on the second floor, where the world was empty save you and I, where you came and I laughed and you left and I cried, where you told me even if we died tonight that I'd die yours. This line, okay, this one hit me like a ton of bricks. You told me even if we died tonight that I'd die yours. So even in her perfect idyllic vision of this house in Nebraska, he would still be the one in charge and take ownership of her. Even if you die, you're mine. Ethel, please. These dirt roads are empty, the ones we paved ourselves. Your mama calls me sometimes to see if I'm doing well, and I lie to her and say that I'm doing fine, when really I'd kill myself to hold you one more time. It hurts to miss you, but it's worse to know that I'm the reason that you won't come home. Okay, so here is the theory. Are you ready for this? These dirt roads are empty. Let's start with that one. So this house that they visited quite frequently, they walked there so many times, they wore out paths to get there. So, okay, so this is why some people don't think that Willoughby's dead. She says, your mom calls me sometimes to see if I'm doing well, and I lie to her, say I'm doing fine. Up and left, and the mom really liked Ethel, and so this is why I think he died. She really liked Ethel, and so she keeps calling to check, and that Willoughby also left his mom, and left everybody and everything. To do what? I don't know. I don't know if I see him being in the army, but that would be like a loophole as to how he could have died. It's worse to know that I'm the reason you won't come home. Whatever Ethel did, was, or is preventing him from coming back home. That house in Nebraska, her calling it a house rather than a home makes it feel empty. So there's a little part you have to listen for, where you told me even if we died tonight that I'd die yours. So I died under you every night, all night. So under could mean sex, or under his control. Okay, that's just food for thought. You can think about that. You know, I still wait at the edge of town, praying straight to God that maybe you'll come back around. I cry every day and the bottles make it worse, cause you were the only one I was never scared to tell I hurt. And I found photographs of our school on the day we met. I thought that you were so beautiful, it was love, I guess. And you might never come back home, and I may never sleep at night, but God, I just hope you're doing fine out there. I just pray you're alright. The part where she says, I still wait at the edge of town, praying straight to God that maybe you'll come back around. I didn't realize this until I was doing my notes. A Bruce Springsteen song, oh my God, say that. Bruce Springsteen song called Reason to Believe from his album Nebraska, talking about a woman waiting for her love at the edge of town, and similar themes like a serial killer throughout his album. I thought that you were so beautiful, it was love, I guess. That's why I picked someone that was beautiful. Okay, this line fucking ruined me. You might never come back home, and I may never sleep at night, but God, I just hope you're doing fine out there. I just pray that you're alright. She may have developed some insomnia after he leaves, or she has a fear of going to sleep in case he does for whatever reason, maybe in spirit, or maybe really comes back just for a brief moment. Ethel has some belief in her faith to be able to pray for her lover, starts to really show some naivete about Ethel and her as her story goes on. Really kind of at the halfway point through the album, you start to learn that Ethel is she's not a reliable narrator. Like I said, the way she was brought up and the way that love was shown to her, she has a very warped version of love. Doesn't necessarily relay the message the way it's really happening. In her mind, she sees it one way. What's really happening is totally different. Now you know, we've painted the picture. Her heart is shattered. Willoughby is gone. Next up, we've got Western Nights. Could not find a visual for this. I don't even know if you can see it. It's a blurry picture anyway. Western Nights is where we also meet another character. Ethel finds a new love interest, Logan Phelps. Speaking of Logan Phelps, I knew a Logan Phelps in school, elementary school all the way up through high school. He stole my mechanical pencil, my favorite mechanical pencil, and I never got it back. I've got a bad taste in my mouth for Logan Phelps. I'm sure he's a lovely person now, but I still think about it. I never got my mechanical pencil back. Logan, with your swoopy hair. You had the Justin Bieber swoop. We've got Logan Phelps in the story. And who did I get to play him? Charlie Hunnam, specifically Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy. My mom will enjoy this. My mom is whipped for Charlie Hunnam. She loves that man. We find out that Logan is an outlaw, a life of crime. Here's my reasoning why I picked him. One, because he's good looking. Because I think him and Austin Butler, especially in this, like these roles, they look similar to me. Maybe she saw him and was like, oh my god, that kind of looks like Willoughby. Maybe that's as close as I'll ever get to having Willoughby back. He's a rough and tough outlaw. He doesn't treat her good. I don't know if that's grammatically correct. He doesn't treat her well and can be violent. Also a thief, and he begins to get Ethel involved in these crimes. He doesn't seem to care how he treats her and others and makes herself think that she loves him. We start to see her choices in men have some unfortunate consequences. I kind of slayed. He's never looked more beautiful on his Harley in the parking lot, breaking into the ATMs, sleeping naked when it gets too hot. I watched him show his love through shades of black and blue, starting fights at the bar across the street like you do. He is a violent man. Don't let this hunk of a man fool you. He will beat you. I watched him show his love through shades of black and blue. Logan is violent towards everyone. Ethel could mean black and blue as in emotions, but probably really means through violence. She excuses his behavior because she thinks it's love. To her, violence equals love. All the way from back in here. That's how love was shown. The neighbors beat on the walls while I'm face first in the bed. Show me how much I mean to you while I'm lying in these sheets. I think I put streets. While I'm lying in these sheets undressed. He's just using her body. To me, I don't think Logan really loves Ethel. Maybe he can tell himself that he does, but I don't see him actually loving her. I think he just uses her for sex and as a wingman or as a cover-up. I'd hold the gun if you asked me to, but if you love me like you say you do, would you ask me to? He don't love you, girl. Let it go. He would do whatever Logan asks her to do, but she can see it's not right. If he loves her like he says he does, why would you let her take the fall for a crime? He's ready to send your ass to the county jail. Trouble's always gonna find you, baby, but so am I. Crying only because I'm happy. Hold me across every state line. I'm never gonna leave you, baby, even if you lose what's left of your mind. I know she would probably pat herself on the back when she wrote that line. 'Cause you know I'll be right there beside you, riding through all these western nights. Oh, he lay down. She's lying and saying it's tears of joy, but really, she's completely heartbroken. You know, she's still thinking about Willoughby. Crying only because I'm happy. It's okay, you can admit it, you're not happy at all. You're actually very sad. I haven't spoken to my daddy in a long, long time. I don't want him to worry, always wondering if I'm alright. It may be a coping mechanism, because I think she killed him. It might just be like a trauma response to be like, I just haven't spoken to him, I need to call him up. I love how I'm just deflated on the couch. The neighborhood keeps getting smaller, all starved out when the money's paper thin. All that's left are your walls and you'll die there. I should have known that there's no getting in. So the money is drying up from these robberies. His worldview is getting narrower and narrower, and Ethel, she's getting, like, go on, get. Ethel realizes she's shut out and there's no way in. Verse again, or the chorus. Trouble's always gonna find you. Yes, yes, yes. Through these western nights, crying in the light of the TV static, I'll still be alright, clinging onto you like some love-blind addict. I'll be screaming your name, past the gas stations trailing down the interstate. Please don't love how I need you, and know that one day you and I could be okay. Her pin game? I'm not kidding you. If I could snap, I'd be snapping. Please don't love how I need you. Ethel hopes Logan won't take advantage of her love. Girlfriend, honey, you got another thing coming. We are moving on to the next song, Family Tree. Not intro. It's a continuation of the very first track. This is the visual I put with it. There's the church here, and she's standing in front of the church. Do you get it? This is one of my top 3. It might be top 2. This one is really something. Love this song. I think this is the one that Maddie likes the most. She was like, I think I'm having a religious experience. The production behind it. Oh, that's something I should point out. This whole album was produced by Hayden herself. I think she's got like 2 or 3 people that play instruments with her. Written and produced by Ethel. Hayden. This song takes place after Ethel and Logan are involved in a robbery gone wrong. In a police shootout where Logan
dies.
He dies, okay? He's been shot. And then also, Ethel is discovering a dark family secret that has been buried. Might be referencing the fire, maybe? It's not really, like, flat out said. Maybe she killed her father and has been able to block it out, any recollection of doing so, but now she's on the run from the police. Alright, let's break it down now. These crosses all over my body remind me of who I used to be. Give myself up to him in offering. Let him make a woman out of me. Quite frankly, that's intense. I didn't find the quote from her, but I believe she's talked about the homophobia she grew up in with her church. Hayden, not Ethel. Inadvertently Ethel. Of her being trans, homophobia that goes along with it within the church and the community. Give myself up to him in offering. Let him make a woman out of me. Getting married and having sex, making her a woman. So, like, she was ready to
Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married.
No, they really were. I'm just a child, but I'm not above violence. My mama raised me better than that. When the preacher talks, that man demands his silence. And daddy said shoot first, then run, and don't look back. When she says I'm just a child, but I'm not above violence, contradicting to what she just said, saying make a woman out of me. My mama raised me better than that. This could mean her mom could have been very violent towards her or to others, or just put up with violence elsewhere. This violence could have been passed down through generations, which is what the whole trilogy is going to be about. Generational trauma and breaking a cycle. I don't know if you were able to catch it, but when the preacher talks, that man demands his silence, and daddy said shoot first and run and don't look back. So she goes in between calling her father the preacher and daddy. So I think she's able to, like, separate the two because she still loves her father and she likes him in his church version, I guess is the best way to put it. I think she still has a lot of respect for the preacher. Shoot first and run and don't look back. Both of her parents, am I okay? Both of her parents have a toxic approach to interactions. He's very quick with his emotions, both as a preacher and a father. So the chorus is, so take me down to the river and bathe me clean, put me on the back of your white horse to ride all the way to the chapel and let you wash all over me. So it could be a baptism. The white horse could be like his motorcycle. She's thinking, white horse, like a correlation to a prince, a knight in shining armor, which he is not necessarily. And that's what I'm saying. She's not necessarily a reliable narrator. Okay, well, he just beat your ass. He ain't no prince. You ain't a prize. This is one of those lines. There's a few very significant lines. I've killed before and I'll kill again. Maybe a fire? If she lit the fire, she killed her father. So I've killed before. They're involved in a police shootout now. I'll kill again if I have to. Take the noose off, wrap it tight around my hand. They say heaven hath no fury like a woman's scorn, and baby, hell don't scare me, I've been times before. Take the noose off, wrap it tight around my hand. You remember she was saying swinging by my neck from the family tree? But she's changing it up. She's like, get this off of me, and I'm gonna use it as a weapon now. Heaven hath no fury like a woman's scorn. Okay, so I had to write this part down because I didn't realize this. From a play called The Morning Bride. Not morning like good morning, but morning as in death. Logan has now been gunned down by the police, and Ethel is now in mourning. She keeps going over like, take me down to the river, blah blah blah. Let Christ forgive these bones I've been hiding and the bones I'm about to leave. Who does she think she is? Take me down to the river, take me down to the White House. Yeah, the White House. Take me to the White House. There's a whole, I'm not kidding you. It's like a, what do you call it? No, there's a big buildup where it's just, take me down. Okay, so now it's time to really get serious because this next song is very disturbing. CSA, child sexual assault. So if that's very sensitive to you, you can skip this one. Just know that her father is not a good man in this song. This one's called Hard Times. And this is the reference picture, I guess. It was the only one that was relatively appropriate. Oh, Ethel, come on now. This is the end of Act 1, and Ethel is reflecting on the sexual abuse endured at the hands of her father starting at 9. She has complicated feelings towards him, still loving him but hating the things he did, and scared to admit that. Most people think if she did start that fire, this is why. Left the police shootout. In my mind, she's like walking down the road. If you're walking a long way, you got a lot of time to think, so maybe she's just reflecting on things in her past. So the first verse, hide me there under the leaves, 9 going on 18, lay it on me, tell me a story about how it ends where you're still the good guy, I'll make pretend, cause I hate this story where happiness ends and dies with you. Hide me there under the leaves could be hiding the secret of sexual abuse underneath a pile of leaves. Could be innocent, like, you play in the leaves in the fall. Could just be an innocent thing that has now turned into something awful. Lay it on me could be literal as in something or someone laying on her, or more of information. Lay it on me. This one broke my heart. Tell me a story about how it ends where you're still the good guy, I'll make pretend. Stories told about her father being a great man and a leader at church church, when at home he's the opposite and he does these acts to Ethel and possibly threatens that no one would believe her if she told. Because I hate the story where happiness ends and dies with you. This one right here. He gets to take the secret to the grave, rest in peace knowing what he did, and then also having the town believe that he was a good man. But now Ethel has to carry around the memories of what happened and can't share the secret because no one would believe her. Are you f***ing... Okay. I thought good guys get to be happy. I'm not happy. I am poison in the water and unhappy. A little girl who needs her daddy real bad. I am so fortunate. My dad is a... Oh, ew, am I gonna cry? My dad is so good to me. I'm not doing that. Okay, shut up, Hannah. Move on. I can't imagine. I've been so fortunate in my life that this has never happened to me. I didn't grow up in a situation like that. And it's so heartbreaking because there's more than enough people that have been in this situation. Not just girls. Anybody. Just a person doing this to someone, let alone her own father. It's very emotional. I'm not happy. I'm poison in the water and unhappy. It could be a subtle hint to Ethel being trans. Poison in the water could mean she feels she's tainted the bloodline. Maybe a disappointment to the family. A little girl who needs her daddy real bad. She needs someone to be a father and not a predator. Oh gosh, okay. In the corner on my birthday, you watched me dancing right there in the grass. I was too young to notice that some types of love could be bad. This is when she notices that her father is looking at her with lust instead of love. Praying I'd be like you, doing all of the things that you do, and I still do, and that scares me. She still admires him outside of the abuse. She's confused and scared that she feels that way after what he's done. I'm not an expert, but I don't think that there's a right way to feel about something like this. Clearly, she still cares about him because he is her father and the preacher and someone that she looked to, especially within her religion. I don't know, maybe sometimes you can love a person and not what they've done from an outside perspective, and also somebody that hasn't dealt with something like this. It'd be easy for me to be like, girl, no, you don't need to love him. I guess it's an outro, but it's a very long outro and it keeps repeating the same things over. I'm tired of you, still tied to me, which could be tired of the lingering abuse and trauma he left behind. Also tied to her through the family tree. Biologically, he will always be tied to her. But then after that, she says bleeding whenever you want. Now that could just be sexually, but you get it. I don't think I need to explain that. Too tired to move, too tired to leave. I'm tired of you still tied to me. She's tired to try and fight and just accepts it. Tired to leave her past and still has love for him. And then after that little bit, she says, it's just the way that you are. It could be the defense mechanism to defend his actions because she still does love him, or it could be her situation swept under the rug because he's the preacher. She just keeps saying, I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep. Please, can I sleep? Can I sleep? In between, I'm tired of you, still tied to me. Anyway, that's the end of that one. If you're tuning in, again, hey, we're back. Next one is such... I hate saying this is a fun song because it's not really fun. That was the first word that just popped into my head. This next one is called Thoroughfare. If you don't know what a thoroughfare is, like a 6-lane highway. This is the visual. She's out walking the streets, and I would imagine this is when she's thinking about hard times, the song we just talked about. She's got time to ponder, but now gonna get picked up off the side of the road by someone else. This is where she meets Isaiah, and I picked Tom Hardy. Specifically, taboo Tom Hardy. We could also use Solomon from Peaky Blinders, just the aesthetic of him. Tom Hardy's got the grungy, gritty kind of look down. I needed to pick somebody specifically like this. Is slightly crazy. Not slightly, he is crazy. I pictured somebody that was a lot older than the past two boys that she's been with. Not that he's like, I made that sound like he was an ancient dinosaur. He's not. In his late 30s, who picks her up off the side of the road in Texas. And this is their journey together. Oh my God, if you just heard the sound my stomach made. Maybe you caught it on the microphone. That picture does not really go with it. Maybe. But he looks a little too polished, like he just got off of a beach vacation. Sit up! God! Damn. Second half of the album. Ethel's on the run from the law. Leaving home, she gets picked up by a new man named Isaiah who wants to go out to California, start to fall in love along the journey. This one's a very long one. This is like a 9-minute song. A good chunk of it's instrumental. It's not one of those ones where you sit there, you're like, damn, how long has this been going on for? You fell in love with America when you were 12 years old, and by 17, you knew you had to see it all. You loved your dad and the love he had for your mother, so you had to get out and go chasing its sweet call. Right after that verse, she brings out the harmonica, and she starts humming the knowing what happens in the end, I mean, we know she dies, but I don't want to spoil. everything. This could mean Isaiah has always seen his father as being abusive towards his mother and now thinks that's what love is. Could also show that his parents had a loving relationship and now he's off to find the same thing but is not having much luck. He's out looking for his love. He thinks it's in California on the west. I met you there in Texas somewhere on the Thoroughfare on the side of the road in some torn up clothes with a pistol in my pocket. I didn't trust no one, but you said, baby, don't run, I'll take you anywhere. So I hopped right in, out of luck to spin, and at least your truck beats walking. I want to sing it so bad, but my voice, I can't do it. Texas is the last place where Ethel was seen after the shootout with Logan. This is where Hayden has also said that Ethel is not a reliable narrator because there's some visuals that go with this album too, other than the ones that I've picked. A missing persons poster. I don't know if you can even read what it says, but it's basically just her height, weight, where she's been, where she was last seen, and blah, blah, blah. Again, Ethel's romanticizing all this in her head. I'm moving you down. Man just showed up and he saved me and he wants to take me with him where he's going, when in reality, stranger abduction. Ethel was last seen Saturday, January 13th at 3:15 a.m. being forced into a black short bed pickup truck in the old Winn-Dixie parking lot on Abrams Street in Arlington, Texas. A witness says a white man kidnapped her. But to her, what she's telling us, he wants to go see the world with me, and he wants to go find his love, and he wants me to go along with him. This is where we get to the chorus. And you said, hey, do you want to see the West with me? Because love's out there, and I can't leave it be. And I said, honey, love's never meant much to me, but I'll come with you if you're sure it's what you need. In her mind, he's asking her, like, you want to come see the West with me? Let's go get out of here. What really happens is she gets abducted. She's making my psoriasis flare up. She slurs her words when she says West. If you wanted to hear a certain word, you could. And that word would be worst. Do you want to see the worst of me? That's Isaiah talking. Do you want to see the West with me, or do you want to see the worst of me? So we made off for California to find your lover driving day and night, and every small town diner saw our faces at least once or twice. But in these motel rooms, I started to see you differently, because for the first time since I was a child, I could see a man who wasn't angry. I don't think so, Ethel. Every small town diner saw our faces at least once or twice could be the missing poster sign or a wanted sign. She might have some wanted posters out. She was in the police shootout. The first time since I was a child, I could see a man who wasn't angry. I just sounded southern there. I could see a man. Foreshadowing the irony of what's about to unfold, also showing her naivete. I hate that word. Oh, and this, when she sings this part, she says, and he said, it's been a long damn time since I left Florida. No one left to leave and no one left to love. But now that I met you, I finally know just where I'm heading. That's what Isaiah's telling her. And we found heaven in time where your western sunshine met my deep southern wet. You got lost in it, and yet you found yourself hard-pressed for air and sweating. They're just okay? You don't think about really what's truly going on. It would be a really kind of romantic story. Ethel, you've got away with words. Once we reached the coast, you said, end of the line. We finally reached the edge after all this time. I didn't find my love, but I still made it this far without it. Is, again, what Isaiah's saying. You turned to me and stared into me deep. If you know what happens at the end, hearing that line now, I'm like, oh, and said, well, maybe not, because look at what I've got. You might not be my love, but baby, I doubt it. And then also, there's some drums. Okay, the first time I heard this album, I had to go to the store, so then I put my AirPods in. These drums get really freaking loud if you've got noise-canceling headphones on, max volume. I was like, you might not be my love, but baby, I doubt it. Isaiah is now realizing he's got full emotional and physical control over Ethel, whether it's real love or what he's telling himself is love. He has her in the palm of his hand. You turned to me and stared into me deep, because now his wheels are turning. He's like, this isn't funny at all. It makes me think of the Grinch when he looks at Max and he's like, because in your pickup truck with all of your dumb luck is the only place I think I'd ever want to be. Convinces herself that this is love and a dream when in reality he scooped her up for profit. We'll find out in just a second in the next song. Then after that verse, oh my god, she's so meant to do jazz. Or like, you know, kind of like, I guess it's scatting. I don't know. People hanging out, playing music, noodling, if you will. Oh, I love it. That's the end of that one. I didn't mention it and I meant to. I don't know why I just thought of it. I think it's in Family Tree. And there might be one other one. I don't know if it's in the intro. Definitely in Family Tree, some of the songs that are coming up. Sound. I thought it was flies, but it might be cicadas. There's a buzzing that's happening. I just want to point that out because it's kind of an underlying theme going through here. It's 10:30. It's past 10:30. I need to go to bed. I gotta go work tomorrow. Gibson Girl. If you don't know, Gibson Girls are... There was a man in I don't know what year. Whatever. There was this man named Charles Dana Gibson, and he would draw women who were thought to be the peak of American beauty. They were called Gibson Girls. This is the visual I'm putting with it. She's got some stripper heels on because this point in the story, Isaiah has started to pimp Ethel out in the back of some strip clubs and pump her full of drugs. Heroin, crack, or whatever the hell. Methamphetamines, you name it, she's on it. And she's dancing, shaking her ass. It almost sounds like it could be a pop song, and I hate jamming to this one because I know the story and I know what's going on, but it's fun. We also get, I don't know if I can show her fanny on there. You can't even really read it, but it's like a gazette. The preacher's daughter's gone wild. So-called Gibson Girl in connection to local prostitution ring. I would imagine this is something that's put on a detective's desk back in Alabama. And there's a little note written on here that says, "This is that girl they were talking about. Have Jennifer fax this to Shady Grove PD ASAP." Okay, so this is why I mentioned the fly sound, because there's a little excerpt in here. Cicada swarm engulfs small town. And it talks about the noises and like infestation of the cicada, so that's where that sound is coming from. In this impossible font to read, it talks about the fire that killed her dad. So that's how it's confirmed that he died in a fire. Throughout the song, the bass is very heavy and the words seem kind of stretched out. It's just to show that she's very intoxicated. I didn't write too many notes on this one just because I think the song itself is self-explanatory. I'm laying down for this one. She says, excuse me. "You want to love me right now. You want to get alone with me. You want to get my clothes off and hurt me. You came alone to me from however far away, asking me to know how I know. You're all the same." Basically talking to the men she's servicing. She goes, "Black leather and dark glasses," doom doom doom, with a drum beat behind it. I call them the West Coast drums because they were not invented or created by Lana Del Rey, but that's just what I associate them with. In her song West Coast, how it goes like do 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 do. Whenever I hear drums like that, I'm like, oh, those are the West Coast drums. "Black leather and dark glasses, pour in another while I shake my ass. He's cold-blooded, so it takes more time to bleed. Obsession with the money, addicted to the drugs, says he's in love with my body, that's why he's fucking it up. And then he says to me," Isaiah starts selling Ethel for sex to make money, filling her with drugs. This is what Isaiah's telling Ethel. "Baby, if it feels good, then it can't be bad." I don't think that's true, sir. "Where I can be immortal in a stranger's lap. You want it good, downright iconic, something they all want that only you can have." And now that was Ethel talking. Ethel is enjoying, or being told to enjoy, doing things that are far from what she was told to do as a child. It kind of repeats itself a little bit. "You want to fuck me right now. You want to see me on my knees. You want to rip these clothes off and hurt me." I hope my parents aren't watching this. I don't know why I just got really shy. This verse right here, it's like a cry for help. "If you hate me, please don't tell me. Just let the lights bleed all over me." Then the last little bit is her going, "You want to love me right now. You want to love me right now. You want to fuck me right now. You want to So that is Gibson Girl. This next song, I think this is probably one of the scariest songs that's ever been recorded. Ptolemaea. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And this is my visual with it. Spooky, ooky, kooky. So Ptolemaea is from Dante's Inferno, Ptolemy, and it is one of the circles of hell where the traitors go. This could mean Ethel being sent there because of sins that she's committed, killing people, and now being a hooer. This one is very hard to understand. If you didn't already read through the lyrics, it's very creepy and eerie, and half of it is in a really deep, scary kind of voice. I think it's Isaiah talking. Well, this one, I'll just tell you, he kills her. The process of killing begins in this song. Ethel is high on drugs and starts to hallucinate. "I followed you in. I was with you there. I invited you in. Twice I did. You love blood too much, but not like I do." Look how much I wrote that right here. Oh, look how neat this is. Repeated several times. "Heard you, saw you, felt you, gave you. Need you, love you, love you, love you." It could be him just gaslighting her. Okay, so when he says, "I invited you in, twice I did," he invited her to go to the west with her into his truck is what she's saying. And then he's invited her into this house that they're staying in, this like wooden shack. "Naughty pine! You love blood too much, but not like I do." Okay, so listen up. It could mean her love for Jesus, washed in the blood, you know? It might be taunting too, because if Jesus is supposed to save her, she spent all this time praying. Why is she in this situation that she's in? She was ignored by God and Christ. Isaiah thinks Jesus and Ethel are on the same level, and he has only hate for Jesus. He craves the blood that will be shed by Ethel when he kills her. And when we get to the "heard you, saw you, felt you, gave you," sounds warped and muffled to show that she's intoxicated. Isaiah is repeating this to Ethel, gain trust or gaslight her. He says he heard her when no one else did and took her on this journey, so how could this be bad? The way this part sounds makes it feel Ethel is too weak to fight back in any way. So then it gets really like And it's very, very faint. It's very quiet. You do well to say yes to me. She's about to be betrayed by someone she thought she could trust. And now we're getting into Ethel. Suffer does the wolf crawling to thee, promising a big fire, any fire, saying I'm the one he's gonna take me. I'm on fire, I'm on fire, I'm on fire. Suffering is nigh, drawing to me, calling me the one, I'm the white light, beautiful, finite. She is the wolf crawling to Isaiah, promising a big fire, promising love and admiration. I love you, don't worry. Calling me the one, I'm the white light, beautiful finite. Isaiah loves her purity that's been brought on by her faith. Most saints and prophets suffer cruel deaths. Now Ethel will do the same. This is my favorite line in the entirety of this album. Even the iron still fears the rot. What she's saying, actually, I can give you the quote straight from Hayden herself. Somebody else commented, oh, I love this line. I don't know what it means though. Basically, even the toughest and hardest things or people still fear the things that will eat away at them and ultimately destroy them. Get out of my head. Anyways, the verse is, even the iron still fears the rot, hiding from something I cannot stop, walking on shadows, I can't lead him back, buckled on the floor when night comes along, daddy's left and mama won't come home, hiding from something I cannot stop. She can't escape the family she was born into and religious guilt. Jesus can always reject his father, but he cannot escape his mother's blood. Walking on shadows, I can't lead him back. She walks behind him and follows and is walking on his shadows. She's just following like a duck. It's not the reference I would have picked, but she can't bring him back to where they met or what it felt like when they first met. In her mind, romanticizing it, she's like, I can't bring him back to that feeling. Buckled on the floor when night comes along. So she's buckled to the ground in the attic. Oh wait, you can't hear me. Daddy's left and mama won't come home. In her drug-induced state, she's getting quite confused. So she thinks that her parents are somewhere near, but they're not coming to get her. And it's scary because only people that know where she's at is Isaiah. This is Isaiah talking again. You poor thing, sweet morning lamb, there's nothing you can do. It's already been done. In the Bible, Isaiah is a prophet who redeems those who have sinned. We don't know whose sins he's alleviating, his or hers. Now it's becoming clear to us and to Ethel his intentions are to cause harm and death. You are no prophet. Okay, this is where it gets very, very, very scary. I can tell you, let me paint the picture for you. When I was listening to this, I was in the middle of Kroger in the frozen food section. I had my AirPods in, again, cranked up, noise cancellation on. There's one part in this verse towards the end, scared the shit out of me. I was like, what fear a man like you brings upon a woman like me? In parentheses, show me your face. Please don't look at me. I can see it in your eyes. He keeps looking at me. Tell me, what have you done? Stop, stop, stop. Make it stop, stop. Make it stop. I've had enough. The last stop, she screams at the top of her like an ear-piercing shriek. I'll play it right here. Brace yourself. Do a reenactment of me in Kroger, okay? Thank you. I can see it in your eyes. He keeps looking at me. Tell me, what have you done? Isaiah, in this verse, started to attack Ethel. You know what? I picture her thinking it's like all fun and games, at least by their standards. He likes to get rough, but then it starts to progress and she's like, what the fuck? What's going on? The way the song drags on, it makes it seem like the attack went on for a while. Saying, make it stop. Is she asking Isaiah to make it stop or God to make it stop? And when you think about it like that, it's like, oh, and she says, I've had enough. Somebody put on Genius Lyrics. She thinks she can still get him to stop hurting her, but in the next lines, she realizes that she can't and she's gonna die. Then that shriek, most likely the final blow from Isaiah. There's a line that's repeated twice. I'm the face of love's rage. Ethel may believe she is only the rage of almost all of her relationships, the abuse that comes along with that rage. Because that's all that's been done to her is just violence. I would picture this Isaiah talking up until the very last bit of this prayer. I guess it's a prayer. I don't even know what this is. Blessed be the daughters of Cain, bound to suffering eternal through the sins of their fathers committed long before their conception. Blessed be their whore mothers, tired and angry, waiting with bated breath in a ferry that will never move again. Blessed be the children, each and every one come to know their God through some senseless act of violence. Blessed be you, girl, promised to me by a man who can only feel hatred and contempt towards you. That's what I think Isaiah is saying. Now we're going to get into what I think death is saying. I am no good nor evil, simply I am, and I have come to take what is mine. I was there in the dark when you spilled your first blood. I am here now as you run from me still. Run then, child. You can't hide from me forever. Scary, scary, scary. I am spooked to the core. Blessed be the daughters of Cain. This can get a little confusing. So Daughters of Cain actually is Hayden's record label. I think it's a record label, but also Daughters of Cain is the fan base. I'm a daughter. If you're enjoying this and you like Ethel Cain, you're a daughter. This is mother. Daughters of Cain could be a cult that ties into her mother, her grandmother, and all the like sins of their fathers committed long before. Things her father did long before she's arrived have now trickled into into her life, the way he was brought up by his mother, things that he may have done. Blessed be their whore mothers. So this is a quote straight from Hayden. Your mother might be the source of all your problems, but she's also a victim of things that happened before you. You could be in the same boat as you, girlfriend, waiting with bated breath in a ferry that will never move again. I didn't even catch this. This was straight from Genius lyrics. Mothers could be waiting for something or someone to change, therefore change his circumstances. Thank you. Ferries move people from one place to the next, but not this one. The Christian mothers in this painted scenario, waiting for something to change, fix the problems. They're waiting for God or whatever they may think, but it never does. That ferry ain't moving. Blessed be the children, each and every one come to know their God through some senseless act of violence. Her dad would be godlike to her, and he used to abuse her, so now her view on religion is tainted. Promised to me by a man who can only feel hatred and contempt towards you. So Isaiah is talking about her father. Through his abuse, he's left her to fend for herself. And so Isaiah blames him also for the situation that she's in. That he's causing, by the way. Get to that verse that is death talking. I was with you when you spilt your first blood. Run then, child, you can't hide from me forever. Death comes to collect us all. Good and bad, death was there while she was killed. Even if she tries to fight it, death will take her life. You know what? If I was Ethel, I'd be like, fine. All right, our next one. August Underground. This is an instrumental track and it's still very spooky. We're gonna have to put these down here now. This is the visual I put with it. Look at that. You see it on the TV right there? So this song, The Physical Death of Ethel Cain, said by Hayden that Ethel dies in the attic. Haunting instrumental piece that depicts Ethel's physical death. She dies in the attic of a wooden shack in Northern California. The song also has, to me, this is what I feel. That's just how I feel. What sounds like 2 gunshots that ring out towards the end. Isaiah is also moving Ethel's body from the attic to the basement to a deep freezer. August Underground is a snuff film. Yeah, so that's where that comes from. Talk in this newspaper piece, they mention August, Texas, and they also say the word underground right after it. I can't remember the phrasing off the top of my head. Here's my theory. So he starts to kill her in Ptolemaea. She's wounded and seriously hurt, and she's still alive, and she makes it out of the house and is running through the woods. And when we hear the gunshots, well, I think they're gunshots. There are 2 of them. I picture her running out and he's pointing a shotgun out of the house, and maybe she gets hit and she starts to kind of stumble like a wounded deer, and then he follows her out into the field, shoots her again point blank, but that's like the final blow, and then he brings her back to the attic and she dies in the attic. Either way, she dies in the attic. Okay? He brings her down to the basement and puts her in a deep freezer. The next song we're gonna get into is called Televangelism. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Televangelism is like, isn't that when, like a Joel Osteen? I could be wrong. I could look it up myself, but I don't feel like it. This is the visual I picked. Another instrumental piece. This almost hopeful and peaceful piano piece is Ethel's spiritual ascension. The music gets pretty sporadic in some parts. When I hear this song, I think of, this is so niche and very specific, but just bear with me. So there's this movie called Martin's Room, not the song, by whoever sings that song, with Meryl Streep, is it Diane Keaton? And Leonardo DiCaprio when he was first starting out. And basically, father of Meryl Streep and Diane Keaton, their characters, he's very sick and Diane Keaton takes care of him. If he gets worked up with whatever his illness is, they do this thing to calm him down where she grabs a mirror and she reflects the light around the room and it dances around the room. Anyway, that is what I picture when I hear this song. The piano starts picking up and it gets very sporadic. It's almost like her spirit is now free, but she's never been free before, so she's kind of like, what the f? Where do I go? What do I do? If you wait till the end of the song, it starts to sound like it's being played on a very warped record. Like the record's been bent, so sometimes when it passes over that bent spot, it has like a warped sound to it. Could be whether you think she's going to heaven or hell, because she could still go to hell. Could be God saying like, you're not coming in here because you killed your dad and people in Western Nights and Family Tree. You killed some people, pimped out here. You ain't coming up here. So it could be her getting sent back down or wherever. Or it could be her sticking around because she's got some messages that she still wants to deliver. Or maybe it was just a cool sound that Hayden wanted to use. I don't know. It's fun to think about. Not fun, but you know, I think that she would get let into heaven. If not in life, at least in death. Let her have peace. Now we're gonna get into, this might be my favorite song of the whole album. Bleached Flies. Here's the visual. Look how cute. This is Ethel in the afterlife. She reflects and makes peace with her family and her life and her one real love, Willoughby. So we get Willoughby back into the mix. End of it all in the afterlife. That's all she's thinking about is Willoughby. Sun-bleached flies sitting in the windowsill, waiting for the day they escape. They talk all about their money and how their babies are always changing while they're breathing in the poison of the paint. The sun-bleached flies, she's referencing like Christian mothers, Christian women, when they're waiting for the fairy. Like they're just sitting waiting for God to answer the prayers, and breathing in the poison of the paint is a reference to children getting influenced by outside media, maybe listening to music, watching certain movies or whatever. What I wouldn't give to be in church this Sunday. Listening to the choir so heartfelt, all singing, even though she was running away from it. After she's gone, that's what brings her comfort, is being in the church, listening to the choir, the music, listening to the good word. This next line, I would say this is probably the most famous line of the whole album. God loves you, but not enough to save you, which is basically saying God loves you, but he's gonna give you all this shit for you to figure out. If he loves you so much, why is he giving you all these hardships to go through? Here's a quote from her. Paraphrase, I had to cut this down a little bit. God is what's scary, all-knowing and all-powerful. He put Satan in his place. I heard God loves you after the most rancid evil shit was said, so I put it in the music like, is that a threat? Show me you love me, don't tell me. So baby girl, good luck taking care of yourself. So I said fine, because that's how my daddy raised me. If they strike once, then you just hit them twice as hard. But in the end, if I bend under the weight that they gave me, then this heart would break and fall as twice as far. Starts going. Ethel was raised on violence and to fight back with more violence. Now she knows if she keeps doing that, the cycle won't break. She's got to be the one to break it. Come on, Ethel. We all know how it goes. The more it hurts, the less it shows. But I still feel like they all know, and that's why I can never go back home. The shame she would get if she went back home is too much, and she would rather stay in the hell she's in now, or leave things where they're at. In this shack, it's like, well, just leave it. Just leave it. I can't go back. And I spend my life watching it go by from the sidelines. And God, I've tried, but I think it's about time I put up a fight. This line in particular, when I first heard it, I remember thinking like, fuck. She spent her whole life watching it go by on the sidelines, whatever the fuck she said. She's never been in control. She's always been watching it controlled by most, if not all, the men in her life. But I don't mind, because that's how my daddy raised me. If they strike once, then you just hit them twice as hard. But I always knew that in the end, no one was coming to save me. So I just prayed, and I keep praying and praying and praying. What the fuck, Ethel? What the fuck is up, Ethel? We get into, oh my god, this is so fucking sad, like a chorus piece of her saying, if it's meant to be, then it will be. So I met him there and told him I believed. Singing, if it's meant to be, then it'll be. I forgive it all as it comes back to me. When she's saying, it'll be, you could also hear her saying, oh, Willoughby. I want to cry now. All she's wanting is Willoughby. Let me get comfortable. If it's meant to be, it'll be. This is the hand that God's dealt me. It's been the shittiest hand he could have dealt, and I got it. Forgive it all as it comes back to me. She forgives those who have hurt her and abused her, so she doesn't have to carry the weight of it any longer. She has a choir singing with her, maybe meaning she's also made peace with her faith. And then this verse makes me want to cry every time I hear it, because after all of this shit, she says, I'm still praying for that house in Nebraska, by the highway out on the edge of town. Dancing with the windows open, I can't let go when something's broken. It's all I know, and it's all I want now. She just wants Willoughby and the house that they dreamed of. So when she says dancing with the windows open, it's a contrast to the beginning of the song. Sun-bleached flies sitting in the windowsill, waiting for the day they escape. The flies sat there and died waiting. But now the windows are open, but she's dancing inside the house, so she's content with where she's at. I can't let go when something's broken. It's all I know, and it's all I want now. The something that's broken is Willoughby, and all she wants is him and what they had. Made it to the last song. This one is called Strangers, and this is what's happening in the real world to Miss Ethel. Do you see that? It's a dinner plate that's set up. Isaiah is eating Ethel. As if it couldn't get any fucking worse. You heard me right. Ethel is eaten by Isaiah and is making him feel sick. She's also saying goodbye to her mother and forgives her for how she loved her. This also starts off with another part of the sermon that we heard in a family tree intro, but this one's a lot more clear. You can actually hear what he's saying. God is telling you and I, there's death for us all, but then we find that our scriptures also tell us that we have a great promise, that there is a better place for those who believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. I've had to live with this album and the whole lore behind it by myself for like 6 months. It's been in my head this whole fucking time, sharing this trauma dump with me. So the first verse, in your basement I grow cold, thinking back to what I was always told. Don't talk to strangers or you might fall in love. Freezer bride, you're sweet divine, you devour like smoked bovine hide. How funny, I never considered myself tough. You're so handsome walking over to me now. That's a lot to unpack just right there. Like I said, he put her in the deep freezer. Ethel is still blaming herself because she fell in love so easy and that's how she got in this predicament. Which, yes, but what did we expect from you? You devour like smoked bovine hide? He's eating her like a piece of beef jerky. Somebody said devour means it like really messy. I picture him maybe not even sitting at the table. I don't know. Do you think he would have actually cooked her properly? Well, as the song goes on, maybe not, because he starts to feel sick. I always pictured him just kind of hunched over, maybe down in the basement, just like, but I don't picture him like setting up a nice Chianti. I never considered myself tough. It could be a double meaning, as in like in life, emotionally, but it could also mean her meat. She starts repeating, I tried to be good. Am I no good? Am I no good? With my memory restricted to a Polaroid and evidence. Am I no good to God? Or am I no good? Is my meat not good enough for you, Isaiah? I'm still trying now, even in death. Double meanings to this song, so. I just wanted to be yours. Can I be yours? Just tell me I'm yours. If I'm turning in your stomach and I'm making you feel sick. Even after what he's done, she still wants him to love her, and she may think that she loves him. Her upbringing has warped her view of what love is. No shit. Turning in your stomach and I'm making you feel sick. I didn't write this. This was somebody on Genius Lyrics, so shout out to you because the way you phrased this was really good. She doesn't have a real grave to turn in. Her grave is Isaiah's stomach. She starts thinking about how she's never gonna see her mother again, so that could be her turning in her grave. How her murder, it'll never be solved because he's eating her, getting rid of the evidence. And I don't think this was necessarily him trying to hide the fact that he killed her. I think he thinks this is some kind of ritualistic thing. Like he was gonna do this to anybody. But also, again, double meaning. Turning in his stomach, the meat that he's eating, she could be spoiled, making him physically sick. When my mother sees me on the side of a milk carton in Winn-Dixie's dairy aisle, she'll cry and wait up for me. We'll make love in your attic all night, euphoric in some strange delight. I'm happy you're here because he told me I should be. You're so handsome when I'm all over your mouth. When she says she'll cry and wait up for me, her mom and the authorities will never know what happened to her. Euphoric in some strange delight could mean for Isaiah, who might be seeing eating her as a form of love, or Ethel as being wanted, even if it is as food. In the chorus again, she says, am I making you feel sick? She keeps shouting it. There's two ways that she's singing it. One is very like, I don't want to say flat because it's there's no emotion. Could be interpreted like, well, what can I do? This is how it played out. There's another way where it's almost like a cry, and somebody said it could be her watching how Isaiah is treating her dead body, horrified by it, by saying, am I making you feel sick? She could be asking us, the listener, am I making you feel sick? This is the verse where I just want to jump off a bridge. Maybe because it makes me think, God forbid, I was in this situation and I saw my mom appeared to her in a spirit or just watching over her, and I saw her not sleeping or not doing, you know, just tore up, because my mom would be combing through the entire country. I just picture myself in the situation with my mom, and it ew. Found you just to tell you I made it real far, and that I never blamed you for loving me the way you did. While you were torn apart, I would still wait with you there. Don't think about it too hard, or you'll never sleep a wink at night again. Don't worry about me and these green eyes. Mama, just know that I love you, and I'll see you when you get here. Because my mom has green eyes, and I have her green eyes. Ethel talks to her mom, letting her know she doesn't blame her for how she loved her or how her love was shown, and that she needs to move on and move forward, and that she will see her again. And that's it. That's all I got for you. No way. Oh my God. I've been sitting here for 3 hours. So that is the story, the life and death of one Ethel Cain. I hope I was able to shed some light. I don't know what I was trying to do here, but it is a horrible situation. But I love this album. Her painting the picture of where she lives, there's a lot of correlations. I've gone around just around my town and I'm like, this looks very Ethel Cain-esque. Visually, I'm able to see it all play out. It's not necessarily religion heavy in the fact that like she's trying to preach something onto us. It's more so like, this is how I was brought up and this is how it's affected me. Anyways, let me know what you thought if you've listened to it. If you haven't listened to it, I hope I didn't ruin the experience for you by spoiling it, but I feel like you knew what you were getting into. I really want to hear Mother of Preacher. I think that's what she's gonna call it. But we've got Preacher's Wife. Those two albums probably won't come out for another 10 years. Book. We're gonna get a movie maybe. If we get a movie and she's not gonna cast herself, I also think Mia Goth as Pearl as Ethel Cain. Either that or Thaisa Farmiga and her sister Vera could play her mom. This is so stupid. If you have listened to the album, if you're in it deep like I am, can you let me know who you would cast? Because I feel like we're all gonna have different opinions. Well, what do we do now? I have a list of things that I would love to do deep dives on, breakdown videos. It doesn't have to be TV shows, could be movies. Obviously, it could be music, could be books. You don't know, and I don't either. So thanks for watching, sweaties. I hope I didn't bum you out too much. Now I feel good. Now you know what my brain has been going through for the last 6-7 months, and I didn't have anybody else to fangirl with. Anyway, I'm just rambling now, and I need to go to bed. I will see you in the next one, whatever that may be. See you then. That looked like, oh no, I looked like I was hailing Hitler. That was not intended. Okay, bye.
I don't know what that was.